Welcome, welcome, ladies, to yet another episode of iStartFirst podcast for women who start. And today we are talking about health. We're talking about mental state. We're talking about what it takes to build a business from scratch, living out of your car at 23, get it to a thriving zone with none other than my absolute favorite, my personal trainer, and a total boss babe, the BootyQueen. Stay tuned because holidays are coming and we all want to look fly for them. Hi, loves. Welcome to iStartFirst podcast, the show for boss babes who start ideas, businesses, dreams, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Alinka Cullinan, founder of iStartFirst, speaker, author, and business coach, aka Queen of Pushing Boss Babes Off the Ledge. On this show, I chat with epic humans who are guaranteed to up-level your business and mindset. Are you ready to sparkle up? Let's go. Hello, boss babes. Welcome to yet another episode of iStartFirst podcast. So excited to have you because I have a very special guest. I mean, this podcast episode really couldn't come better for the holidays because we all love our stretchy pants. We all love our desserts. We all fall off the wagon with our diets and our resolutions and our ways to treat ourselves. So I thought, who would be better to join me today than one and only, my personal trainer, total badass boss babe, aka the BootyQueen, Serena. Hello.
Super happy to be on the podcast with you today.
Yeah, so happy to have you. So tell them a little bit more about yourself, kind of a little bit about what you do, and then we'll dive into your story.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm your trainer. I'm a trainer. I am called the BootyQueen, is what people know me for. Women come to me to help me build their booties. Not only that, though, obviously we work with weight loss. We work with basically anybody's goals. Nothing too specific, just women who maybe have trouble finding their confidence and kind of need a push in that direction. Somebody who needs someone that they trust to kind of find themselves again and make them feel comfortable in their own skin. They come and find me and I help them put them on that great journey. And it's amazing that I'm the person that they trust to do that with. So
I love it. I love it. Yes, she is my trainer, ladies, and she definitely kicks my booty, which I love because it makes it look hell a lot better. So anyway, Serena, you brought something up that I want to definitely jump on right now. We will go into your story a little bit, but you brought something very important, I think, that a lot of times, a lot of trainers too, I personally think overlook, which is built-in confidence, which is extra important if you're working with women. Why is that aspect of personal training so important to you?
I think it's something that kind of hits close to home. I carry it with me, especially coming from someone who definitely didn't have any confidence at one point. I was bullied all through school. I was very shy. Definitely didn't know anything about what it meant to have self-esteem until I actually started growing into myself and realizing that there is a difference between being confident and not being confident and the effects that that can have on your mind, on your emotional health, your physical health. So when I started my business, I wanted to create a family kind of feel for women who have maybe gone through those same things and kind of put them on a pathway where they can start paving the way for themselves to believe in themselves, to be confident with themselves and their capabilities, abilities, things like that.
I love it. I love it. It's so, so true. And it's so awesome that you're doing it. It definitely feels like a family feel. You have not, your jump to going into personal trainer, being as young as you are, going and doing it completely on your own is pretty major. What prompted that and how scared were you?
Oh man, I knew, it's funny. I never actually thought that I wanted to run a business. If you had asked me what I wanted to do when I was younger, I never would have said that. I never would have answered it that way. I was already training. I knew I wanted to be a trainer. I knew I wanted to be in the fitness industry and help people I had worked a corporate training job. I had done the whole corporate America thing. And I realized that I just could not, I'm not a person who can be told what to do. And I felt like when it came to helping the people that I wanted to help in the way that I wanted to help them, I just didn't have that leeway to do so. I felt very limited and like there was a little cage. It was like me and my goals and the outreach and the effect that I wanted to have and the influence that I wanted to have on women or on anyone's life. I felt like I was sitting here and there was this cage that was just sky high above me. And I couldn't get out to like expand to do the things that I wanted to do. And so I literally think I quit my job on a whim. I'm a very spontaneous person. And I said, screw this. Like I can't do this anymore. I want to do this myself. I want to do things my way. I had this vision and I think it was on a whim completely. One day I walked in and I said, look, I appreciate all the information you guys have given me, everything that I've learned from you. But I think it's time that I'm just going to try and do this on my own. And they kind of were like, okay, yeah, good luck, but ultimately it ended up being the best decision I ever made because now I'm in this space. I'm 23, obviously. I still have a lot to learn, but it's just so much better, so much more fulfilling too, I think I would say.
No, I love it. I mean, it takes huge guts to do the jump and show up like this for yourself. I mean, truly stepping into your power and kind of figuring things out as you go. What were some biggest learning moments you would say? I mean, I'm sure, being young and people looking at you going, oh, you're only 23, doesn't always help with running a business.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So many people looked at me and were like, okay, kind of hit me with the, okay, like good luck, you do that. I feel like there's so many pivotal points where I kind of had this like eureka moment as far as like building a schedule. And I didn't have any finances to fund my business. I literally had nothing basically to my name. So in my mind, when I'm looking at all these business pages and successful entrepreneurs, and they talk about having the funds, and like I didn't have a business loan, but I had my vision, like I said, and I just wanted to make it happen so bad. And I was like, well, I can't sit here and tell myself that I can't do this because I don't have money to do it. I kind of threw it to the universe and was like, okay, I know that this is where my heart is. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to put my all into this and trust that the funds and stuff are going to come later. It definitely taught me a lot about time management. It taught me a lot about scheduling things. It taught me a lot about how to communicate with people in all situations, because obviously you can't please everyone when you're running a business. And I learned very quickly that no matter what it is you're putting on a platter and delivering to people, there's always going to be people who just don't want it, no matter who you are, no matter what message you're giving. And that was a really tough pill for me to swallow, because in my mind, I was like, I just want to help everyone, and sometimes I just didn't understand why I wasn't connecting with certain people. Mm-hmm. So just learning that that's actually something that comes with the growth of business and with growing your brand and your name. That was probably the most difficult thing, but I've definitely learned how to adapt to certain situations.
I love this. This is so, so important. I mean, in any business, saying no is just as important as saying yes, right? And I talk about it all the time. You have to be very selective. My goal is not to serve everybody either. And yeah, when we are starting out, we're so excited, and we have part of it is, that underlying fear too, because we want to help everybody. We want to serve as many clients as possible. But in reality, yeah, we're not going to serve every single client. They're not going to choose us, and we shouldn't choose them because not everybody's going to be aligned. So I definitely love that you're so authentic about it. It's a huge, huge point. And I think a lot of young businesses and women starting businesses are struggling with that. So your no's are just as important as yeses, ladies. Learn this. I mean, it's such a good point. So, can you tell a little bit more, in terms of programs, what specific programs do you do? Because I know they vary, and now you're looking potentially into some fun traveling opportunities. So just kind of run them through. What are some options to work with you?
I have the in-person training where obviously I'm local to Old Town Scottsdale. Girls who want to work with me can come and see me and work out in a private gym. solo training options, one-on-one, where obviously I'm more catered to you and your goals, especially, which is great for girls who maybe don't have that much experience in the gym, or just starting out, don't know what they're doing. Group training.
Or whine like me, maybe they just whine a lot.
Which is sometimes even better for group training. I'll put you guys in groups of 2, 3, 4 girls, and then you have girls to cry with. Hold hands and push each other through your workouts. I try to make space for everyone. With online girls, that's all global, so which is great because I have the girls that are in the States, there's girls that are in Europe, there's girls in Canada. I actually just partnered with this fitness app called On The Go Fitness. So girls can actually download that app, and then they want to do online coaching with me, they can subscribe to the training through that way. And it can be whether you're watching just certain selective videos catered to certain workouts, or if you want to actually do it on a month to month or like week to week, X amount of days, hours, whatever. It breaks it down that way. So it's easy. And then I can get to you guys more personally. And that's outside of the 8-week program that I already have. So there's a lot of options. I have a 12-week program that I'm kind of retouching up, and I'm just going to relaunch it coming in the spring 2020 for girls too, another booty program. So that'll be really fun and exciting too.
I love it. I love it. And so you just recently started to travel more, right? You got into exploring the world and potentially traveling more. So what prompted that?
I've always wanted to travel. I definitely had a part of me that felt like something was missing in my life. No matter, obviously I love what I do. This is my passion. But there was still that small part of me that wasn't feeling completely fulfilled. And I had no idea what it was that was missing until I went and I traveled to Bali for the first time. And once I did that and I left the country and I got to experience a different culture and connect with all these different kinds of people and see this completely different way of life, it was like, oh my God, like this is what it is. There's so much out there in the world that I didn't even realize existed. And then it just kind of dawned on me that I wanted to take my business and everything that I'm doing here locally, and I wanted to be able to spread that and share this community that I've created with the girls here in Arizona, or even with the online girls, and take it to any other place in the world.
I love it. No, that's exciting. That's very exciting. Who doesn't want to work out on the beach?
Yeah, exactly.
Does not get better than that. But, so a lot of women, I'm sure, and I can definitely testify to that, and I have a fairly decent knowledge of nutrition and working out. But I'll be honest with you, ladies, I was kind of mind blown when I started working out with her, especially to the point where I literally was the same exact size and like 15 pounds heavier. And it kind of was screwing with my brain because I was saying, what are you talking? Like, how is this even possible? How is it possible that I'm wearing the same clothes and look the same kind of, but I don't? And also it completely changed my proportion. It completely, changed my weight. I've never weighted this much ever. So, and it was because of the training and because I was, working with Serena, it just completely blew my mind. So big part of working out is, mindset and understanding what goes into that. What's your perspective on that, especially working with women? We get emotional and hormonal and all kinds of things.
I think at this point in my career, I want to say I've seen it all or close to it. But you're absolutely right. Your mindset is everything, not even just in your day-to-day life, but especially when it comes to something like fitness. Because essentially, fitness, having a fit lifestyle, when you hear that, you think someone's working out a lot, they're eating healthy, but it's not. If you take that and that's literally just a small piece of a very big pie, you can't be healthy. I could be eating all the right foods and working out 7 days a week, but I think there's that quote that goes around that you see on Instagram or whatever. If you don't take care of the stuff that's going on in your mind and your heart, how can you really say that you are truly a healthy person? So I've had days where maybe I feel really sad or my anxiety is high that day or something really pissed me off, and I go and try and work out and I have all these emotions running through me that I can't even actually focus on the workout. So I don't have a good workout. Maybe I'm taking a lot of rest time, or I'm looking at something on the internet because my mind is just in a completely other place. So I can't even give the energy that I need to give to my workout, which takes away from that, what I am doing for my body in that sense, which I think actually isn't even healthy. It does the opposite effect, So
Yeah.
I think that we need to be catering to what's going on in our minds, because I think that's kind of like the framework of the house that we try to build for ourselves. So obviously if you have an unstable foundation, then everything else it's not going to be stable either.
Right. Right. No, I love it. It's so, so true. Yeah. I mean, foundation is everything, just like it is in the gym, right? I mean, you start with basics and you slowly build up to more complex exercises, to bigger weights. And I mean, speaking of weights, that was one of my preconceived sort of fears, internal fears, and I've shared that with you, where I literally was concerned that if you lift weights, you get bulky, right? And I think a lot of women are concerned with that, and they like avoid that. So we die by cardio, right?
That's a really common misconception. Working out, it is actually very, very difficult to get bulky. I mean, that so much plays into that. It's what you eat. It's your bone structure, your genetics. It's, are you doing steroids? There's so many different ways. The chances of that, the percentile is very, very slim.
Very slim. Yeah. So you definitely advocate weightlifting.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And so with women who who have struggled with their weight their whole life, they have done every diet under the sun, they want to do it but they hate it, what are some pointers you can give them, kind of like starting points that they maybe are overlooking right now?
I think the biggest thing is to just try to tell yourself mentally that, one, it's okay. Obviously, you have to fall a million times. You have to walk before you can run. Discouragement is definitely part of the process. Just because you're trying all these things and nothing's working doesn't mean that there isn't something out there that will work for you. And it's just a matter of consistency, just the way that you have to be consistent with working out and eating healthy and doing things to have a healthy lifestyle. You have to be consistent in searching for it too, because if I were to do X, Y, and Z and this was all fail, and then I just stopped and I'm not exhausting all of those options, then I'm missing out on something that could have actually been really beneficial to me,
Yeah.
I think there's that saying where they talk about grinding for 5 years with seeing no big result, and then you have this one pivotal moment that changes everything. I think that applies to your health and wellness too. If you're doing everything and it's not working, and then you try one thing, you try a different diet, or you try a different exercise, or maybe you start sleeping more, something as simple as that, that can be something that gets that ball rolling, and it's like a snowball effect. Once you find that one thing that gives you momentum, and the rest is just kind of like clockwork.
Yeah. And you and I talked about diets too. And you've said something to me where you would never put women on a just cookie cutter diet. Why is that?
There's so many diets out there. Two, I am such a big person on self-awareness when it comes to your body. So I can put somebody on one diet and another person on another diet, and one girl can lose 10 pounds, another girl can maybe lose 2 pounds. Maybe someone doesn't lose any weight at all. I want to make sure that my girls are just as responsible for themselves as they feel I am responsible for them, and like the workouts that I'm putting them through. I want to make sure that they are actually respecting themselves enough to go out there and do the work to figure out what works for them and what doesn't. And I just mean that in the sense of where you should know what is supposed to be going into your body and what's not. Take a food sensitivity test. Know what you're allergic to. If you know you're sensitive to something and that affects you in a negative way physically, respect your body enough to not eat it anymore. Don't put it in you if it's not right for you,
Yeah.
And I know that's a hard thing because a lot of us have cravings, or we love mashed potato, but if it's not good for me, I shouldn't be eating it. And then I keep asking myself, why am I not seeing any progress? It's because I'm not listening to the things that my body's already telling me. So I just want to make sure that the girls are practicing being attentive, as well as self-discipline too, because that's a really big part of being on a fitness journey if you want to see a substantial, sustainable result.
Yeah. And another thing I do love, and same thing, you and I talked about it, is the fact that, a lot of women, especially because we have two extremes sometimes. It's either I completely go and eat pasta and drink wine by gallons, or I am on 7 months of chicken and broccoli, 5 pieces of each, and drinking water. So talk about moderation a little bit because so many of us struggle with that. And,
I
not putting ourselves into that box of just broccoli.
start small. I mean, if you're going to eat clean, but it doesn't have to be all the time. You don't have to be eating cardboard for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can eat whatever you want. Essentially, just don't be greedy with it. And I guess you eat until you're full. Don't eat until you feel like, oh my god, I can't eat anymore. Once you get hungry and you start eating something and you're not hungry anymore, but then you keep going because it's so good. Like that's the point. At what point when your brain stops working and your body's just like, yes, give me more, give me all of it. So
Yeah.
that's where it's all self-discipline. We just have to and reward yourself. Say, okay, I'm gonna do good, and I'm gonna write down these goals for my diet this week, and I'm not gonna eat 20 bags of cookie, something, and then start slow and then reward yourself. It's like, okay, you nailed this goal, so maybe I'll have this for dessert this week. Something small and it's almost in a way I really think like training ourselves is kind of similar to training dogs. When dogs do something good, you give them a treat so that they keep doing that good thing. Your brain is the same way. When you do something and you nail it and you feel good, you want to keep resonating that feeling with that same feel good experience that you had. So, I that's what I would say. I would say to just train yourself slowly but surely.
No, yeah, it's so true. I mean, I laugh or not, I have a favorite picture of me after working out with Serena for 6 months in the pink pants. And there are times when I want to do pasta and gallons of wine, and I look at that picture and I'm like, but I love the way I look. So I'm just going to go for a glass of wine, and maybe pasta will be another week. So it's definitely working. I mean, the result is what drives us all. Obviously, once we start to feel good and, look good and your body composition changes, all these changes start definitely playing into your routine. So I do love that piece of working out, where it changes your mental state. You're on your high game, and it's definitely exciting. And you may not love it. Like, I can be honest with all of you, I still don't love going in the gym, but the results that I'm getting and the mental state and how high I feel, that's what's keep driving me. It's like that, you don't have to be in love with everything you do to still get results. And I love what you said. It's, training yourself, it's training your mind, still waking up and getting into the gym even on the days when you don't feel like it. So, but yeah, I mean, the fact that you've built this, really successful business, build your tribe, now expanding more, going online, going to different countries. I mean, it's all super excited. And I'm sure there are other boss babes there who are listening and they're like, oh, I want to be Serena. I want to, spend 3 months and get the same results because that's exactly how it doesn't work. But if you were to give them some advice, at the beginning, and like you've shared some private facts, with no funding and building it from scratch, what would be one advice you would give them?
Ooh, so advice for business?
Building the business from scratch and starting as young as you and maybe younger for some of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my mind, what I told myself, because I didn't really have anybody telling me, I guess, to do it. I'm a person who I don't really think things through all the time. So I was like, if I don't do this now, and if I hesitate for a second, I know I won't do it. I won't jump off the cliff. So if there's something that you feel like you want to take a chance on, I think that the only thing that I can really tell any of you is you have to just do it. It's like you close your eyes and you're on the edge of the cliff and you just jump, and you really don't know. I mean, you don't know what the turnout's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be successful. You don't know if people are going to kind of be resonating on the same frequency as you. I didn't. I had no idea what I was doing. I really don't have any experience when it came to building a business or a brand. Maybe I had done some marketing there, and I didn't have anyone in my corner telling me that I was going to be successful or telling me that this was going to turn out the way that I wanted it to be. I really was in the beginning just a one-woman show, and I had to tell myself constantly every day, like, I'm not seeing results. I don't know if this is going to work out. But in my mind, I was like, I would literally tell myself every day, this is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to work. I would wake up for like 5 minutes and I would just repeat it to myself every morning. I was living out of my car at the time. So I was in the worst possible space, and I had everything in the universe going against my dream and going against my vision and going against everything that I wanted to give back to like my community, give back to people around me. And so I think it's really not relying on the opinions of other people. It's relying on your own self, relying on the things that you know are true deep down to your core and in your bones. Like, if you have something that you feel for on any level that just makes you feel so passionate, it just lights you up, you absolutely should pursue it. Like, balls to the wall, tunnel vision, and do not let any like negative energy come into your space. Do not let anybody tell you that it's maybe not a good idea. Even if it's maybe not a good idea, if you believe in it, the only way that you're going to figure out if it's right for you is if you do it. And I had to learn it that way, and it definitely was not an easy process. I was scared about the outcome for the whole time. I still am to this day, even though my business is growing. Like, I carry that with me because it humbles you, knowing that you can build a business and it can be successful, but it could also fall just as quickly, because I've experienced that too. So yeah.
I love it. No, this was amazing. I hope you all taking notes. I mean, she gave you like a bunch of mic drop moments right there, but it's so true. I mean, the tunnel vision, but most importantly, you said one huge thing. It's not paying attention to anyone's opinion, right? It's selling out into your own vision, into your own drive so much that you like, I don't care if I'm living out of a car, if I'm not succeeding at the moment, if I don't have people in my corner, I'm doing it because I'm passionate about it, because my heart is in it. And no, that's truly extraordinary. So I mean, I commend you, I love you so much. I'm so, in admiration of everything you're building. I'm supporting you always. And I'm so excited for everybody to hear your story and hear, kind of the whole journey process. So cannot wait to see what else is coming in 2020 from the BootyQueen. And thank you so much for being on the episode today and sharing your gold moments and your low moments, your lessons and your highs with us. So thank you a million times over. Ladies, I will put in the notes, all the references, so you can connect with Serena on social media, and we'll probably put a link to sign up for her programs there as well. So I'm very excited, and thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to iStartFirst podcast. If you loved it as much as I did, feel free to tag us on Instagram at iStartFirst_. Share it with your besties, and if you feel so compelled, give us that 5-star review on iTunes. Till next time, and like always, kick ass and sparkle up.